Brandon Staley finally let go after a disastrous performance on Thursday night. One of his many shortcomings as a coach was his inability to field a competitive defensive unit, despite that being his specialty. I've heard a lot of discourse about how the vaunted Fangio defensive system that Staley ran with the Chargers doesn't work anymore and it's outdated. I don't believe that to be true at all. I think a lot of the Chargers' defensive issues stem from a lack of detail as well as mitigation of weaknesses within their fronts and their coverages. Let's take a look at the Raiders' film and look at some of the issues that arose during this game, which have been happening for years.
The Chargers are a big quarters and quarters variation team. There's nothing wrong with this at all, but as in any coverage, there are weaknesses. The Chargers are in a true quarters call on this play, and the weaknesses of quarters are in breaking routes between the three linebackers, between the hash marks, and outside of the numbers within 9 to 10 yards. Ways to mitigate these issues are by your linebackers and nickel collisioning the slot or tight end to their side and not allowing them to get to those spots quickly. If you watch Chargers film, the Chargers rarely do this. What you'll see is the linebackers or nickels will vacate to their area right away rather than getting in the way of a slot or tight end, and they allow them to get to their spots quickly. This is going to be showcased on this play, as it is often for the Chargers. We'll roll the film here. As the play starts, the running back for the Raiders is going to leak to the left of the formation. The Chargers linebacker, Eric Kendricks with the arrow over his head, does the correct thing and pushes to the side where the running back is leaking to match numbers. The linebacker to the bottom of our screen, with the circle around him, Murray, needs to recognize this and know that with Kendricks having to vacate and leave outside of the hash mark, he does not have help inside. As Mayer starts his release, he's working a stick route right in the middle of the field. Murray needs to see this and lock onto him as he does not have Kendricks helping him out at all. Murray does not recognize what is happening. Mayer catches the ball over the middle for an easy pitch and catch.
Again, we're going to go over what happens when we do not affect interior routes. Chargers are going to show pressure. They're ultimately going to back out of this, like the arrows indicate. Watch number 6, Eric Kendricks. So as Kendricks expands here to Michael Mayer, he's again is not going to get hands on him. Now, Kendricks may be running step for step with him, but what's going to happen is he works to his outside shoulder. Because of that, Mayer easily pushes off, gets inside of Kendricks, and again, we have an easy completion. So once again, if Kendrick bails here and gets hands on Michael Mayer right here, he stays inside of Mayer, disrupts his route. It takes more time for him to get to that spot. Maybe Murray, who is to our right here, can help him out. Or the route is disrupted enough where Aiden O'Connell goes, okay, I can't fit the ball into that window because the timing's off, and he moves on to his next read. Again in the red zone, the Raiders come out in a 2x2 formation with a tight split to the bottom of our screen. Chargers are going to send Eric Kendricks on a blitz, and they are going to be playing cover 1. Cover 1 is man coverage across the board with a free safety in the middle of the field. Again, nothing wrong with the call here, but there is an alignment issue. To the bottom of our screen, Jacoby Myers is matched up with Mike Davis, corner for the Chargers. There is a tight split here by Myers. He is inside of the numbers. If I am Mike Davis, I need to be further outside because I'm giving way too much space to Myers to release outside, and I have inside safety help at the top of my screen from my safety. So he's essentially head up. If you look at the end zone view of this play, he's head up, he's slightly outside leverage, but it's not enough to be able to deter Myers from outside releasing. So as we watch, Myers is going to release outside, and another error for Davis here is as the ball's in the air, he is going to look back too early. That's a technical issue. Davis needs to stay in the hip of Myers, and when Myers' hands go up, he needs to play up and through the hands. Or if he wants to play the ball because he's in phase, he needs to lean on Myers, get him going to the sideline, and break to the ball through Myers' hands and go get it. He does not do either here. He looks too early. We have a touchdown. This clip, we have another alignment issue by the Chargers. Raiders are in a wildcat formation with trips to the bottom of the screen. Derwin James, who is highlighted here, he needs to be outside of number 11, Trey Tucker. He's going to work inside, and this causes big problems for leveraging against the run, which causes a trickle-down effect that ultimately leads to a touchdown. So, we start the play. Because he's inside leverage, Trey Tucker walls off James. Now, the Raiders pull their tackle, and we have a tackle one-on-one with a corner. That is what we call a matchup nightmare, folks. That corner is not going to make a play on the ball. Also, because of this, now the inside backer for the Chargers, who's coming downhill, sees this happening. He has to make up for Derwin James's alignment problem. He needs to now fill inside so there's no lane to run through. Because of this, there's no cutback player, and if we look at the 20-yard line, look at that massive hole to run through for Bolden. Bolden makes the right read, and we have an easy touchdown, right? This all starts with pre-snap alignment. This is on the coach. This needs to be repped. This needs to be talked about. This is a problem. The Raiders come out with a trips formation to the bottom of our screen. The Chargers counteract trips with a cover 8 call. What cover 8 is you play cover 2 to the trip side, and then away you lock up in man. The free safety to the top of our screen is playing what is called a poach technique. In a poach technique, he's going to take a look at the number 3 receiver, Jakobi Meyers, the number 2 receiver, Trey Tucker, and if they work vertically across the field towards him, he is going to take them. So, nothing wrong with this call at all. Sound coverage call, but there's a lot of problems with the execution for the Chargers. So we'll roll the film. Jakobi Meyers, the number 3 receiver, works right in between the 2 linebackers here. What needs to happen is Eric Kendricks needs to wall him, get hands on, and flatten him across the 25-yard line so Murray can run with him across the field. What this will do, this will allow our free safety playing our poach technique to now take Trey Tucker, who is working vertically, across the field. Instead, both linebackers let Jakobi Meyers run free in between them, which now makes the free safety trigger down on Meyers as he is a vertical inside threat. This allows Trey Tucker, the number 2 receiver, and number 11, to run through on a skinny post, and with Derwin James in outside leverage, he has no chance to catch the speedy Tucker. These persistent issues have led to the Chargers' defensive struggles for years. It was too little too late for Staley, and Chargers fans just couldn't wait any longer for him to be dismissed. Thanks for watching, guys. If you like what you see, like and subscribe. I'll try to make another one next week for you. Take care.